SEIs are a bit more tricky than the KPIs. So if we can go to the next slide. So they're usually a bit more qualitative and therefore difficult to measure and assign a value. In general, research infrastructure enables high-quality research outcomes that in turn have an impact on the broader socioeconomic factors. So they are a powerful way to demonstrate value to stakeholders, including the institution, funders, and governments. So in the GBI recommendation, SEIs are broken down into 4 categories, as Laurence mentioned earlier. We have resources, including things like data sharing, standards and quality control, educational resources for the larger community, and expert advice to support public policies. We have highly qualified personnel. So I don't know if this is a term that's generally used globally, but this is what the Canadian funding agencies use. So they abbreviate that to HQP. And at least with our granting agencies, they qualify those as graduate students, undergraduate students, and postdoctoral fellows. I think you could certainly expand that to include imaging scientists and scientific professionals. And the SEIs here are linked to public education led by the platform, professional development and future employment of the platform scientists or imaging scientists, and training of the users with skills that they'll use in their future careers. We also have collaboration and innovation with industry partners and production of intellectual property. And in some cases, the industry may invest directly in the platform. And finally, we have public visibility in the media. So this could be through news interviews, published articles about the platform, or presence on social media platforms. So go to the next slide. So in the document, the things are outlined in a similar way to the KPIs, where each SEI is defined, and then examples of how to measure them are provided. And each indicator is color-coded for difficulty in collecting and measuring. So for example, for the imaging scientist, it might be easy to count how many users they've trained and the platform scientists or the imaging scientist's career progression and future job opportunities. But it might be more difficult to track their professional development and measure that in terms of its impact on the imaging facility and on the users. So it's often a bit more difficult to measure. So we're going to have a similar breakout room now with SEIs as our focus. So if you are already measuring or conducting SEI measurements, or I guess sometimes it's not measured, but like videos or things like that to promote your impact, how you're measuring that, and what you are doing. Is what you're doing representative of your platform again, or do you have ideas of things that are missing and maybe ways that we could be measuring this in non-traditional ways that would be very impactful? And we'll do the same where we'll have a 20 minutes to talk, and we'll have a link to the Google document.